And now we're live in the zone. Are you in the zone?
I'm in the zone. I'm born in the zone.
We are born in the zone. I'm here with my good friend Matthew, and you know what? I know this guy for a while now. How long? Over a year.
Over a year, for sure, yeah.
And what I like about it is that we've become really good friends. And man, I respect you, and I love all the
Same
things
here.
that I love all the things that you're doing. I love how your mind works, and it's very similar to the way I think in terms of um, what do you call it? Organized chaos.
Yeah, that's a good description.
But it's all about expansion, right?
Yeah.
Because you get there's people that are very linear.
Yeah.
They want, that's how they grow. But I think you're very much like me, where it's like exponential growth. It's like
Yeah.
boof, right? And that's the most powerful way of achieving anything. It's just like getting uncomfortable, and maybe it's a bit chaotic. And
But you'll
that's
get
just,
there.
yeah,
You'll get there
yeah,
eventually,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. But you gotta, from my experience, you gotta attract the people that can keep things in line, the detail oriented people.
Absolutely. That's important to have
Yeah.
around.
So what I wanted to talk about was the flips, right?
Okay.
Because I know a lot of people, people follow me for multifamily,
Yep.
but what they don't know me for is flips. And people don't know that like in my 20s, I
Mhm.
say it like it's a long time ago because it was.
Ancient history?
Yeah, I'm turning 45. I'll be 45 very soon. But in my 20s, I was doing a lot of flips because it's a great way to raise capital.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't have a skill set like you, right? If you see my hands, I have, if you
You
see,
know, I got little cuts,
yeah,
scrapes, and
yeah.
calluses.
But you're good with you're good with your hands, and
Yep.
you have you love it, right?
Yes.
I think, you know when I did it, I mean, I did it like a crazy person, right?
Mhm.
So it was like one year I did like over 30 flips or whatever, like, and 20 uh 20% I didn't make any money.
Really.
Right?
Yeah.
And some I even lost money, right? And then,
Hey, I've
but I
done that
didn't,
too.
yeah, but then I've made a lot of money, and then I was
Yeah.
able to flip that money into generational wealth assets like multifamilies.
Right. Right.
But so what why do you like flips?
Um, for a few reasons. I enjoy being able to take something that isn't like. Generally, I go after some of the worst of the worst. So I'm taking some that's not available on the market for habitation, really, and flipping it and putting it back on the market and being able to provide a home for somebody. And then more recently, I've been kind of focusing on like century homes, a lot of
Mhm.
homes with character, these older homes, brick buildings and stuff like
What do you
that.
what do you like about that? Because some people will be scared. You got
Yeah.
like old,
Um,
like old foundations, stone foundations, and
I
things
love
like.
stone foundation. The worst are the dirt foundations. Anyway,
Mhm.
stone foundations are great, but you have character. There's a little more problem solving going on. You come across decades and various decades worth of repairs and renovations in the past. So you kind of have to navigate what's the best way to solve the problems you come across. Um, Also, I find the homes are much more marketable. Like, who doesn't love a red brick home with, foot tall baseboards and woodwork everywhere? So that's always a bonus. And then for me, part of it is I get this sort of sense of I guess accomplishment, or I'm able to
Instant gratification,
yeah,
almost.
instant gratification.
Because like you get, like, it's not like you buy a multifamily, it's like in the future, like.
Yeah, exactly. You get this instant gratification, and with these older homes, I get to see, like, you open a wall up, you see the wrench that's like 120 years old, or you see the hammer that's was left in the wall, and you're able to kind of respect these people's who spent
History.
like people worked with
Yeah.
their hands to place these bricks, and you're able to kind of respect that by like restoring it kind of back to a new lease on life. So
I love that perspective.
yeah.
What was the oldest or the weirdest thing you found doing
Um,
these flips?
creepy old photos.
Really?
Yeah, you get like creepy. It's like a weird postcard. You get all these like, old photos. It's all these kids, and you're like, oh, that's weird. Why is that on the wall? Kind of thing. But nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of these houses, they're maybe in rough shape, so they've had some maybe renovations in the past, and I guess all the gold, all the good stuff's been found before. So
yeah. It's interesting. It's really interesting, like the things you can find in walls.
Oh yeah.
Like old newspapers. I like that.
Yeah, we found a newspaper from, I think, 40s or 50s or something like that in one of our flips recently. Yeah, it's cool to look. You flip through, see some of the ads, the crazy stuff they were trying to sell back then.
Buy your house now for $5.99.
Yeah, you buy it off Sears catalog, and it's like, $500, and they come and deliver it to you.
Cool. And so let me ask you a question. How do you find these deals?
I find probably 80% of my deals on the MLS.
Yeah. So so what are you specifically looking for when you go to the MLS?
I mean, there's sort of the go-to kind of skim through some of the handyman specials or, sold as is kind of thing. But a lot of times there's a lot of people looking for that. So, you're either going to get bid out from someone who's putting in crazy prices, and that kind of stuff. But every now and then you can get a good find there if you act quick enough. And then a lot of times I'm just kind of, I'll flip back and I'll browse just the general market, let's say, and look for listings that are listed wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that I'm selling right now, it was marketed as a move-in ready sort of family home. Nothing in the listing mentioned that there was no kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So, most people want a kitchen when they buy a house.
We were looking at this one property a few months back, and believe it or not, it had no bathroom. No bathroom.
That's even better. Yeah. The kitchen I could understand because there's kind of a commercial space, but a bathroom,
Yeah. So
what makes it easier to buy.
So they had like a bit of an outhouse is what they had.
Okay.
And they had like those bathroom systems that are above the ground in a box.
Yeah.
That you could just.
Yeah.
They're not even a septic.
Composting.
Something
toilet.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world is this, Canada or what? How are people living like this? But you'd be surprised what you find.
Yeah. So this one had no kitchen. No kitchen.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay.
So like where everybody saw like maybe there was it wasn't appealing, you saw the opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone else showed up and thought, hey, I'm gonna move into this great house, and then they get turned off because there's no kitchen. I show up and say, fantastic, I don't need to do demo. Let's just slap those cupboards in there and we're ready to go. Yeah. So
what are some of the biggest wins that you've had in the flips?
In the flips? I would say so. One of the first flips I did, or the first flip, it was in a bank owned, been vacant for like 3 years or something like that. And I went to go look at it, and nobody wanted it. It was $100,000 in Ontario. It was fantastic, century home. I walk in, the person who owned it before they got foreclosed on did a huge kitchen renovation. So I walk in, nice, beautiful granite counters.
What?
Brand new cupboards, no scuffs, beautiful backsplash, stainless steel appliances. And I said, okay, I'm going to buy it. Like the kitchen alone is worth the price of the house.
So what was discouraging people? I guess there was no pictures.
There was like a rough picture of the kitchen, but like they didn't show it really well. And then the fact that it was empty, like I had to do a lot of the plumbing because it had burst because there was no heat, but that's fine. I redo the plumbing, and then there was a lot of paint flaking and some plaster repair and stuff. So took care of that. And I got like a $50,000 kitchen for free. So that works for me. Makes it easy to market.
So what can someone like if someone wanted to start up with flips for example, what do you, because it's like people watch HGTV, right?
Yeah.
They're like, God, what? The guy made 150,000 or 200,000 on a flip like that. I can do that all day long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? realistically, what could someone expect to make on an average flip?
I mean, everybody has their sort of threshold of their calculation of what their time's worth. But if you're making $200,000 on a flip, sign me up. Give me a call, because if every flip you do is $200,000, I'd say you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
It 100% depends. The market that I've been doing flips in the last couple of years, it's kind of all over the place. But stay away from a flip that only has $10,000, because you're going to get in trouble with your margins being too small. But maybe 50K, 40K, something like that is maybe a good starting point. Because you have to, if you're just starting out, your costs are going to be higher, because you're going to make mistakes, and you probably will have some extra labor in there.
What if someone's getting started? What should they be doing? What's the first thing they should be doing?
Evaluate yourself and your skill set. That's the first thing you should do. Find out whether you need a project manager or if you're going to manage it yourself. Most people cannot manage it themselves, even though they've watched a lot of HGTV. There's more.
But I can go to Home Depot and they give me the introduction.
Yeah, you could go to Home Depot for sure. But I mean,
they answer all my questions. They look legit. They have like the suspenders, and they have the
people are great at Home
They
Depot.
have the pencil. When someone walks around with a pencil, it means
authority.
They know something.
Yeah.
That big flat pencil.
Yeah. Home Depot is a retail store, so some really great people there. But I mean, maybe not professional advice. But definitely evaluate yourself. Talk to the professionals.
I like that. Figure out what your capacity is. Time wise. Because then if people get into a flip and they're like, I'll do it like after work and on weekends.
That's great, except if all your trades only work during the day and you can't take any phone calls during the day, how are you going to manage it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you can't communicate, then how are you going to know things are being done or being done properly?
Yeah.
So that's things you have to think of.
Yeah. And so evaluate yourself, and then if you don't have the skills like you do.
Yeah. Find a contractor and start with referrals.
Yeah.
So
that's important, because like there's so many contractors.
Yep.
Some of them don't take your call, right?
No.
And then there's people that have all the time in the world, right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the red flags that you would say, like, watch out for these type of contractors?
If he shows up tomorrow to start the job, there's a reason that nobody's scheduled him yet.
Yeah.
It's probably because, maybe the quality, for whatever reason, he might not be the contractor you want. Yeah. So, right now, the way that they're, the labor shortage and stuff like that, people, or the good people, are booked out minimum 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Easy for like any kind of trade.
Yeah. So that's a good point. Plan.
Yeah.
You got to plan ahead.
Have to plan ahead.
And plan for delays.
Yeah. Because I had I just did the flip I did, and my flooring was delayed 3 weeks maybe.
What about your windows?
So windows are
on time,
future
right?
investments.
On time.
You buy them today and you don't get them for a year or two later.
So I like what you also said about referrals. So make sure, if you maybe connect with people that are also in this, or that have had work done on their homes, and get that referral.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't find anybody to give you like a referral for a contractor, I mean, start maybe going off of own places that only have reviews. You could also, if you're buying a flip in an area that you're not from, good places to start is like call the Home Depot, call the Rona, the Kent, or whatever building supplier place is there, and ask them for contractor references. Call their contractor desk and be like, hey, I'm looking for a roofer. Can you refer anybody to me? Because all the contractors go there to buy stuff. So generally they'll give you the better contractors as opposed to the ones that, they don't know and are not known for doing good work. So
nice. My man. Matthew, how can they find you? Like, if they want to reach out, have a chat about anything. I mean, we talked about flips, but of course, like, we're on the same wavelength here
Yep.
because you're building generational wealth through
Absolutely.
multifamily.
Yeah.
But flips is a good way to raise capital. It's a good way to be in real estate and like make capital so you can deploy it into some of these
Yep.
investments. But how can they reach you? Where can they get a hold of you?
So Facebook, Matthew Goddard, or company site, Amhar Investments, or any of my other companies. And then hopefully YouTube soon. That's going to be starting up. And Instagram under Matthew Goddard as well. So,
woo!
Yep.
All right, guys. You heard it here. Flipping with Matt. Flipping out with Matt. We flipped out. We flipped our wig today. But hey, Alfonso loves you, and we'll see you
at the top.
All right, guys. Take care. There you go.